So you guys wanted to ask me about Shark Tank, right? About like insurance and stuff like that. He's trying to leave. Hold on. Oh my god, did you see that shit? I almost spit. Alright, so Shark Tank. Okay. Fuck it, whatever.
Homeowner, did you know that PG&E is now the most expensive electricity provider in the state and one of the most expensive in the entire country? Guess what? They just raised rates again by 13% and have already requested an additional increase on.
That's why I have revolutionized the way people cut gift wrap with the Little Elf, the easy, lightweight, and fast gift wrap cutter. In just a few seconds, you can cut straight and feel great. Just measure the paper to your desired length, slide the Little Elf back so the sheet of paper drops into the blade embedded slot, and then with ease, push the Little Elf forward. Wow. Getting a smooth, clean, and extremely satisfying cut every single time. So Sharks, I know you all could use a little help for this holiday season. Piece of paper is, right?
But what if I only want half the sheets?
So I can show you that right now. So it's great for trimming as well. You're gonna insert it into the blade slot like this with the Little Elf upside down, and then you can trim the paper just like that.
It's just that easy?
It's just that easy.
How much does it cost?
So on Amazon, we're selling a 2-pack for $13.99, and on our website, we're selling anywhere from $5.99 to $7.49, depending on the quantity.
How'd you come up with this?
I've always had just the knack for like thinking of ideas, coming up with solutions, but that was confusing to my teachers as like an elementary school student because I really struggled with reading, writing, and comprehension. Finally, in 2nd grade, I was diagnosed with pretty severe dyslexia.
Yes.
Yep.
Me
so
too.
For the rest of my elementary school, I struggled with, reading 3-4 grades behind. Finally, in 5th grade, I was transferred to a school specifically for dyslexic students. Throughout high school, I really embraced that. I developed and designed what is today Little Elf gift wrap.
And how old were you at the time?
I was a senior in high school.
What?
Yeah.
You know why they ask such personal questions? Because they're investing in the person. So, say for example, they spend like whatever amount on that person, right? They're not actually trying to buy the product. They're trying to invest in the person so the person can continue to create other products for them. They don't really care about this fucking $13.99, whatever, who cares? That's why they're asking such in-depth questions about his fucking life, his interests, his personality, and his behavior, and what he is interested in. They don't give a fuck about the product at this point. They're just asking him personal questions about, hey, what do you want to do in your future? What would you like to do in your future? Would you like to continue to innovate? Do you need funding? Do you have other ideas? Like, is this the only thing you like to do? And the only thing he said was what? I have an interest in inventing things. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian.
And right now, I am actually a junior at Stanford University up in Palo Alto.
Wow, that's impressive. What are you studying at Stanford?
Product design, so it's the perfect match for me.
What are your sales this year and how much money are you going to make?
To date, we've done $250,000 in sales.
Wow.
You're doing everything alone and you own it 100%?
I am running the whole business myself. I do.
See, the thing about Shark Tank that is so much better than any fucking esports, any fucking anything, is that they have verified sales. There's no such thing as, oh, maybe it's a projected, we have a projected sale. It's actually confirmed sale, and they have already been doing the sales. It isn't just, oh, I think in 10 years, maybe, right? They've already done the sale. They're coming in with the evidence that they have already done these sales. And most of them, if you keep watching, is they have a problem with manufacturing. They need more warehouse space. They need more marketing. They already have their own clients. They don't even need them. The only thing they need from them is the connections to the manufacturer, the insurance, and I think there's some, depending on which products, they have like certain things where they're just like, we're just such a small business that we can't keep up. We need help. Like, we have a lot of customers, we have a lot of clientele, we just cannot keep up with like how much we are trying to sell, and our orders are taking longer and longer because we can't get those things to the customers in time because there's so many people ordering. But every single fucking thing you hear in esports is, well, projected. We have a projection. We think that in a few years, I have already done, and I can show you what we have done, and this is our sales thus far, right? It's projection. 5 to 10 years, maybe. Like, could be, possibly, right? Never, not affirmative actions. It's not confirmed sales, though. You haven't even done it yet. And you're asking them to spend like millions and millions of dollars on something that they don't even know if they can fucking sell, right?
do have a licensing agreement with the world's largest gift wrap company. So my deal is for the next 2 to 4 years, I get 10 to 13% of retail sales only. But I can sell online, I can sell on QVC, HSN, online shopping.
Have you been on QVC, HSN?
We have not.
What does it cost to make it?
$2.09.
So it costs you $2.09, and what's your average sales price?
$15.
So you're selling multiple units typically.
Yeah.
Brian, you're killing it. Your margins are like 80%. What else do you need?
Help with advertising, you know. I haven't spent a dime on advertising.
That's just to drive your online sales?
Just to drive online sales. Get on TV shopping would be huge. Someone sees it in action, they're gonna fall in love with it immediately.
Listen, I think I've...
This is why I said, like, if you guys watch some of the stuff for Yugi, so if you do Yugi leaving his mom's house, and then what is it, Lacey streaming his brother, right? If you can tell from the backgrounds, like, they are not fucking rich. Like, the only person that's probably is just Tanner Fox. Tanner Fox is, like, honestly the only fucking person that I can personally think of that is a young streamer, or like a young public figure, or, you know, they're like, Tanner Fox is literally the only person that I can possibly think of that was actually born into either a higher, you know what I mean? If you think about, like, Lacey and Yugi, they were not really born into wealth. Like, Ronald, like, his mom, like, really fucking takes care of him. You know, he's, in my personal opinion, he's pretty fucking comfortable in comparison. Like, yeah, Tanner Fox is, like, the richest one of them all. Stable Ronaldo is not even that fucking rich. They're just kind of like, right? That's why his mom was working to fucking retire. You see what I'm saying? So, if you're saying, like, people like Yugi and Lacey are not beneficial, you have to understand, like, they're buying people who have confirmed, right? And I think that's why so many people want Kai, because remember, safety concern? Yeah. So this actually is why so many of these companies want to work with Kai, because he literally has people, exactly, like, if you think about, like, Michael Jordan, and then there's, like, LeBron James, you know, people, you know, have the same fucking Nike whatever deals as Michael Jordan, but they don't get as much because they don't have confirmed sales. They don't have verification that if I sponsor you and I'm associated with you and you are associated with my name, that I will confirm, make sure that I will make fucking money. Does that make sense? That's why a lot of times I'm like, don't leave your community, because your community is how they're gonna know that you're gonna make a shit ton of fucking money. Exactly. That's why I kept telling people. I was like, don't abandon people. Don't fucking be like, oh, I used to be ghetto, but I'm not like that anymore. I can promise you, people are not going to want contracts with you because they don't know if you can actually make money for them. So that's all I'm fucking saying. That's all I'm fucking warning you. You can leave them all you fucking want. You can pretend like, oh, I'm not ghetto anymore. I went to school. I did all this. That's fine. We know for a fact that there's nobody following you. So technically, you're right back into the same seat that we were fucking in, where nobody likes us because we have money and nobody wants to help us because they're like, you're already rich. What help do you need?
enough. I'm going to make you an offer. I feel like be a great partner for you because this...
Hello?
I mean, I still...
Hello. My name is Adam Ferrari, the Chief Executive Officer of Phoenix Energy. I look forward to you joining us at our next...
I've sold over 1,000 successful...
$1,000 in revenue and net over 50%.
That's awesome. That's awesome. How much of your own... I'll direct you to...
So, the ice cream canteen does not need to be...
Nuke it, Mark, nuke it. This is so wonderful.
All right, get in there, Mark. It's not going to melt itself.
Let's get hot.
All right, we're going to burn the table. Hang on, for a second.
The table's on fire.
All right, already at 425 degrees.
Wow.
All right, thanks, Mark. Let's see how we're doing. Let's see if we got some ice cream. Oh, I guess. That is my...
Did they after you? Here's the question. The way you said it, you said no one came up with it before me. What did they do after you?
If I came here 2 months ago, I would have been able to say I was the very only ice cream canteen on the market. As of the last 2 months, I have had 2 very much inferior, but similar products come to market.
Do you have a patent?
I do. So I have a design patent that's still pending, and I have 3 registered trademarks.
Break down the numbers for me. Tell us what you sell it for, what they cost you to make.
I sell the ice cream canteen right now for $44.99.
Oh, wow. And what's your cost to make it?
My landing cost is $7.50.
Well, there you go. That's good margins. So I'll direct to consumer?
No, not all direct to consumer. I think the huge potential here is retail, and one of my largest retail partners right now is the ice cream industry. So we look across the country, there's 80,000 ice cream, gelato, frozen yogurt shops in the country. They all sell pints of ice cream, but customers cannot take that pint of ice cream from the store to their home. They can't take it from their store to the beach.
Jordan, what's your revenues to date?
I sold $98,000 in 2021.
How about this year?
In this year, sales are great. I've done $185,000 to date.
So you should have made a boatload of money.
You see how they're asking him for confirmed sales? They don't even ask, like, hey, what do you think in a few years, how much more do you think you will be able to make? They're like, how much sales have you already done? They don't care about the future. They want to know how much you've already sold. They want to know right now, how much money did you make? before they even consider investing in you. And you guys keep talking about, oh, projected sales, you know, we're projecting. Like, they don't care. They don't fucking care. And I can tell you, this is a very hard person to fucking work with. So they are being very strict, very intricate, and very specific. Because this person is a fucking asshole to work with already.
Off of that, what were your profits?
I'm netting over 50% right now.
So you put in $99,000, give or take, in your pocket already?
Correct, yeah. This year we're expected to do over $400,000 in revenue and net over 50%.
That's awesome. That's awesome. How much of your own money have you put into this?
To get started, I was $15,000 in credit card debt.
And what do you need more than anything?
More than anything, right now, I'm capital constrained, and I'm having to leave a lot of opportunities on the table because I don't have the inventory, and
You see the questions they're fucking asking him? And you see how they're, like, studying his fucking answers to see if you even have the ability to, or you're just trying to get somebody to come in to clean up your fucking mess.
I don't have the money to purchase large purchase orders.
So listen, you need $100,000 basically for inventory. That's your problem. You don't have enough product. All right, I like this deal. It's very simple to understand. I'll give you the $100,000 on 30%. I think you're worth $2 million, but I think you've got a really interesting idea, and it's Chef Wonderful. I can blow this up huge for you.
Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate the offer. I appreciate the feedback. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's what Kevin O'Leary did to your evaluation.
Look, I really do feel this business is worth $2 million. I've done $450,000 in lifetime sales.
I like your business.
Zero advertising.
I like your business. But when he knows that we're all going to say, and why he's doing slam things, we're all going to say 5% is not.
Well, you knew we were going to say that. Well, when was the last time someone came in and said 20% left for 20%? You come in and say 20. No. I've seen the show. You got to be somewhat reasonable. So let me just tell you. Let me tell you the thesis.
What are you going to do?
Let me tell you the thesis really quick. My thesis really quick. All right. It's not about the amount of money. Most likely, you're not only asking for funding, you're asking for help, and you're asking for a $2 million valuation. But we've done this time and time again. You don't value the participation of the shark. I understand you go low, we go high. It's just frustrating because the foundation of the show, when I first started, when we all first started, said, "Thanks for not loaning money. There's no other place to go." You don't go to some place and go, "There's no other place to go. I'll give you 5%." All right, you're out. You know, I'm somebody to paint any picture, and I think that Lori is a vicious, backstabbing shark. That's all true. But sometimes I love her as well, because she is the QVC queen. So I'm offering $50,000 for 15% if you can raise the rest from Lori, and if she wants to do business with you.
Well, here's the thing.
So I'm offering $50,000 for 15% if you can raise the rest from Lori, and if she wants to do business with you.
Well, here's the thing. You've heard me say before, I can tell instantly if it's a hero or a zero. And I think what you've got here is a hero. No offense, Damon. I don't need you.
You don't.
My offer is $100,000 for 30%. I will get you into infomercial right away, and I'm pretty confident that we could get this into all retail stores across the country within literally weeks.
I'll tell you what I'll do for you. I'll give you $100,000. We'll never agree on what percentage I should get. We're going to change the model completely.
This needs to be in every supermarket, drugstore, Walgreens,
So
CVS.
expensive. Mrs. Slavinsky goes to the store and picks this off the shelf and says, "Hey, it's a piece of foam with a smiley face on it. Costs 2 cents to make in China." That's what she's thinking. Because a Brillo pad, which is a traditional product, is what? 20.
Scrub that. You're going to see it's just going to attack right inside burn on mess, scrubbing it right off. And remember, I'm just using water here. There's no spatulas, even large serving spoons, on both sides at the same time. Sharks, with your help, Scrub Daddy will be scrubbing and smiling in every kitchen in the world.
Woo!
Wow.
Scrub Daddy.
I've never witnessed a live infomercial.
That was fantastic.
That was incredible. Do you have samples? I do.
Where are you selling this now?
Thank you. Well, currently we have it in 5 supermarkets in the Philadelphia area. We also sell on our website. I've been on QVC 3 times over about 3 months.
And how'd it go?
Fantastic. They've invited me back over and over. And every time I go on, they reorder 30% more than the last time.
So Scrub Daddy is humming. And what were your total sales? QVC, wholesale?
Just north of $100,000. Only in 4 months.
Do you have a patent on this?
I actually have a patent. I have 2 more pending. We have the trademark. We have domain names.
Okay, Aaron. What do you need the $100,000 for?
What?
You see what he just said? He says, when people have stuff like this, wait, right here.
Do you have a patent on this?
I actually have a patent. I have 2 more pending.
You see the patent pending thing? Once they associate with these fucking companies, they go like that. Whatever the fuck is pending, right away. Because guess what? Exactly. They have the fucking power to. So a lot of times when people have an idea, they have what the fuck they're doing, whatever, they just needed somebody to come in and push that shit forward. That's it. That's all they fucking needed. Yeah, and he said it very specifically. He said, I need help putting this in other places. I need help with my this and that. And like, exactly. And guess what he said? He said, why would anybody want to buy something that they can just get for China for $2? Valid. Valid, right? No, that's fine. Then, you know, when you're trying to persuade people to invest in your stuff, you're just not going to fucking get it. You can maul all day. Still doesn't mean you're going to get his fucking money, right? And then once certain type of people, you know, they'll be like, oh, I'm going to destroy you, which is the pedophile underage shit that we're fucking talking about. So technically, it's really fucking perfect because technically they're not cyber stalking you. They're not hunting you down and they're not going after you. You're just kind of coming out of the woodworks, right? But if you say you're so smart, so rich, so successful, why the fuck are you coming after underage kids when they can't do anything for themselves? Shouldn't you be going after the big fish, not the smallest, most weakest, most useless fucking fish there is? then game on. I said to my gang members, I said, you don't have guns, you don't know how to fight, and the only thing you can do is call the fucking cops. And in this case, now I know which cops you're fucking working with, so I think they all know who to look for if they know that you're calling the cops, right? Exactly, and they can work with the hackers and pick a day where your friend is fucking working, and then fucking do it then. So the only person that you can call and that can show up is your motherfucking friend, who I think equally cannot fucking use a gun. So I really don't think anybody's gonna get shot, murdered, or even arrested, to be completely honest.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want? With Wix, you can.
I mean, hypothetically speaking, you are kind of betraying cops because you're pretty much joining them and then selling personal, private, intellectual property stuff, you know, because it's not a corporation at this point. You're literally putting people's lives at risk. Exactly. And I told him, I said, you want to fuck his wife and you want to fuck his daughter, and as long as he's fucking alive, the father that you're trying to fucking kill, he will never allow you to fuck his daughter or fuck his fucking wife. But as soon as he fucking dies, I can promise you, they will be like trying to make your daughter into a fucking sex worker, like trying to get your son to sell fucking drugs, right? And then you're gonna fucking be like, yeah, well, who the fuck, you know, fuck the police, all that shit, right? So I said, you better watch that motherfucker. Because if anything happens to your son or your fucking daughter, you know damn well it's that motherfucker. Exactly. And then people were like, oh, well, cops can kill cops. I'm like, hey, don't worry, we got fucking cyber stalking and esports, because you said it was fucking okay to do it to everybody else, right? So if we use the same logic to cyber stalk you, I really don't think it's possible to get the wrong cop. Do you? Right?
And I like the big box idea, I think, because this has hand reveal. You walk in a big box, generally you have 2 or 3 type of grills, right? The egg, then this one, and then that one, right? And I think this has like that moment like, wait a minute, I haven't seen this ever. I have an offer, I think it's a licensing play, big box, $200,000, I'll match Kevin's 20%.
I'm gonna make you an offer. Okay. I see this. I think you don't need to be in a ton of retail stores, but Bass Pro and Camping World, I mean, why not? I'm gonna make you a little bit of a different kind of offer. I think you have really great margin. I will be that person there.
Give them to you, or right now you're buying them?
Give them to me.
Are you selling any today?
For 9 months, I've been selling all over the country.
How are you selling it across the country online?
Social media.
Really?
He's made $10,000 in revenue since he started.
So Sierra, your girlfriend? Wow. What will you do with the money if somebody puts it up?
Manufacturing, upgrading my website, buying trucks and wheels, hardware in bulk.
How many skateboards have you sold?
I have sold 231.
What does it cost you to make one?
So the deck cost me $3, but now Vance put me in touch with their manufacturer, Madrid Skateboards, so that costs $13.
You see? You see what the problem is? Because one of these fucking sharks, I forgot which one. I think it's like O'Leary, right? O'Leary's the China one, right? Yeah. He's the one with the money and the tech. And then Lori is the one with the QVC, like, small shit, you know? Yeah. See what I'm saying? That's why, like, whenever people are like, oh, rich people are in competition of each other. No, they're in competition to see who the fuck can get it first. But otherwise, their specialties are completely fucking different. If you watch a lot of Shark Tank, you will realize that a lot of these sharks, they will actually not even try. Because they're like, this is not even in my field. I don't even care. Good luck to you, though. And then they'll just completely back out. They're like, oh, it doesn't matter to me, but hey, good luck. Right? Yeah, or then they'll be like, say for example, I think it's happened to Lori, I think once or twice, where they're like, well, I can go in with you, but I personally don't really have an interest in this, and I don't really know what's going on, but I can tell this is going to be a good product. I'll go in with you, but otherwise, like, I'm not really that interested. I just think that it could be a good product, but in terms of my specialty and what I can do for your product, I don't right? Like, so I think it's really funny that a lot of people think like rich people fight each other, and to me personally, that just means you're poor. And it's funny because if you think about drug dealers and prostitution, even they will tell you that there's no such thing as like turf war or anything, or like people being in competition of another fucking person. Because say for example, how I like to explain it is, if I work with the Russian mafia and I am in an area where they want white prostitutes, it's gonna fucking work out for me, right? Because they don't want black girls, they don't want Mexican girls, they want white girls, right? So I have to work with them, Russian mafia or somebody who traffics or works with white girls. But then say for example, the Russian girls or the white girls don't want to work with a black person or don't want to work with a Mexican, so then they're not even in the fucking area, which means I have to, exactly. And so if you're thinking about like Latin America and cocaine or African cocaine, right? What if like one person can mix better than the other? Like, what am I gonna do? Keep hiring white people who do meth? Like, that's Meth people are never going to make me the cocaine that I fucking want, right? Exactly. I have to get the Mexicans. I have to get the fucking black people to work with me, or else I can't sell the fucking drugs. And then another thing I said was, say for example, right? Even if you take any fucking Twitch party, any Fanime, any of that stuff, if I go in there looking like a ghetto ass fucking bitch and I fucking talk like this, I can promise you nobody's gonna buy anything from me. You're gonna literally, exactly, you're gonna have to get somebody that they're willing to trust, that they're willing to buy the drugs from. So when people are like, oh yeah, you know, everybody fights with each other, I'm like, okay, so you're not connected in the criminal world. You're not a fucking rich person. All you're talking about is everybody fighting all the time. And I'm thinking in my head, I was like, prostitutes, that wouldn't fucking work. Drugs, that wouldn't fucking work. So you probably don't have very good drugs either, or what? Like, like, what are you saying? Why do you keep saying everybody's fighting? Who's fighting, bro? Do you see my point? So anyways, it's usually very telling what kind of person they are, who they know, how much power they have, and who they're connected to based on what they say. Because a lot of people in esports, they'll say like certain things, like if you watch Amaranth's fucking boyfriend. Oh, sorry.
Is it my fault? I said, yes, it is your fault because you turned
Yeah,
off
my
the
fault.
stream.
I got swatted because the guy said he saw me beat her senseless.
No, that's not the
You're
reason.
victim blaming so hard.
Bro, why does his eyebrows look like that? Like, is he gay? Because the only time I've ever... So if you ever follow Shrinkle, right? If you follow Shrinkle, she has a lot of, like, trans guys, girls, trans women on her Instagram and stuff, right? So, like... Trixie. Yay. Okay, so I think Trixie and Kimchi, right? They never have eyebrows because, you know, they're doing drag all the time, right? So they have very specific way of doing their makeup. So that way, exactly. Well, you got, never mind, you guys aren't that gay. So, when I saw his eyebrows, I'm like, is this man a fucking trans guy? Like, the only time I've ever seen anybody have eyebrows like that is either girlies who actually do a lot of fucking makeup, so they don't like to have, like, because, okay, so... For me, I'm just bald. But for me, from what I know, a lot of girls like to shave off this part or keep it really, really thin because they want to make that super high arch, right? So, like, when I was looking at his fucking eyebrows, I was like, bro, is this man gay? Like, is that why he has fucking eyebrows that look like that? Because the only time I've ever seen eyebrows like that is either on girls who do a lot of fucking makeup or literally trans women who do drag makeup. So I was like, is this man gay? But then I don't want to be, like, toxic, you know, towards the LGBTQIA fucking community, so I didn't say shit. I was just like, Right? And he kind of does act like the bottom, too, you know? Right? Like, dude, deadass. I was thinking about that shit, too, but then I didn't want to fucking say anything, because I was just like, man, this sounds a little transphobic, so I'm just gonna shut the fuck up.
Swatted
This man has taken the soul from you.
No, I got swatted because someone lied to the cops and got them over here.
No, the reason why they swatted
This is what I'm
because
talking
you
about.
caused reason for concern.
Dude, like, I can just imagine, like, in a BDSM fucking position, you know what I mean? He'd be like a fucking bottom, he'd be like, and just beat the fuck out of him. You're like, oh, I love it. Dude, you guys see what I'm talking about, right? Sorry, we're talking about, like, sex work and shit, so... I mean, no offense, but he kind of seems like one of those bottoms that just... Exactly! Dude! Alright, sorry.
What are you talking about?
No one can the reason why someone calls is not because they lied. That makes no sense!
But they did.
He kind of looks like a gorilla. Look at this, look at this, look, he looks like a gorilla.
But they did.
Sorry.
You're not making sense, you dumbass! What?
Like, you see that? That's like, okay, so, I don't know if you guys have ever watched, here, let me show you.
These bitches better be out here getting my money.
Have you guys ever watched this shit? Oh my god, let me show you,
Hello, my name is Adam Ferrari, the Chief Executive Officer of Phoenix Energy. I look forward to you.
The headlights, Dorsey.
And I'm gonna tell you something. This pimping that I got in my blood, it came from a family tree. My granddaddy was a pimp. My great-great-great-granddaddy was a pimp. I'm talking about pimping since pimping. It's in your bloodline. It's in my blood, and you will never be that. What? Because you was born, all the people in your family were assistant pimps.
Damn, I never denied you that. I thought you was the one the Lord chose.
If it had not been for the Lord, I wouldn't have not a now. Nobody say that now nutter like you say that now nutter. Not a now nutter bitch. I still don't know what that shit means, but it sounds good about it. Now nutter means don't get a now nutter. Now nutter. A now nutter out of there. Nutter out of there. Bitch, shut the fuck up and drive this motherfucker. What?
And I watch this shit, I'm like, oh man, I wonder who's fucking working this bitch.
Oh, you're so stupid!
Wait, the point is not that they lied about
Destiny
what
Little
happened?
Steve, $1.
The point is that you made people concerned, so they had to swat them. They felt the need.
Oh, they had to swat. They had to
They
swat.
felt the need.
They were justified to swat.
No, they felt the need to
Why
make
don't you say allow us to
concerned calls.
to know your position on this?
What is your problem?
Strongly enough, they have to swat.
I cannot deal with this anymore.
Can you imagine that?
Call your dad,
She's
bro.
actually
Just
defending
tip
the guy who
$1.
swatted her.
Call your.
In that house, you wouldn't know because you don't know anything. Tell me first.
Well, unfortunately, you either think it or you don't think it.
Okay, I think you're full of shit, is what I think, and that
So
you
you
did
don't think
coerce
that?
me.
Oh, so okay.
You absolutely coerced me into signing
Okay,
this.
and how do I do
divorce.
that?
Because every time you get upset, you talk about leveraging my animals, and that moves me to almost like insanity, or like desperate to not lose them. Tell me first.
Oh, shit.
I'm doing that. So 100% you're
And do you have any evidence that I've said that? Or is it just literally
You just admitted it! Today, dumbass! You know that I have this whole stream!
Something grimy that I forgot to mention in my area. You guys are about to get eliminated. Fake Bravis kids. Fake Mansweet kids.
Bro, I've heard of this.
But I'm just saying, you if you know, you know. Otherwise, I don't want to feel, I don't want to snitch you guys. But you know what I mean? Like, you can fucking tell, because if you fucking knew, you would fucking be able to tell. Like,
What the fuck is wrong with my car? Oh my god, you stupid fuck. Fuck you, car. Drive, you motherfucker. Oh my god. This is gonna get me the death of me, dude. This shit's gonna be...
You're sick. On vacation. Good thing Amazon Pharmacy will deliver meds right.
Also tonight, a 16 and 17-year-old from D.C. are facing charges in Montgomery County connected to a carjacking. But it's the surveillance video that really tells the story here, and it makes your blood boil. It shows the victim there finishing up, pumping gas in Germantown on Saturday. You can see the two teens forced the door open, grabbed the driver, and demanded his keys. They hopped in. You're going to see it right there. They tried to take off, but wait a minute. Nope, they couldn't. It's the best anti-theft device you can have. It was a stick shift. Manual.
The death of me. This shit won't drive if there's a door open. And I'm not in a great neighborhood right now. Fucking idiot car. How do I override that?
You don't even have to bother investing your money. You can just blow it all on watches and fucking bling.
was that? Oh, Dan something, right? Thank you. I'm gonna go eat. Blizzarian, whatever. Like, this fucking shit's so hilarious. If it's over, it's over. I'm done. It's up to you guys. Oh, fuck, I gotta charge my phone. Where was that? Shucks addiction.
Hurts your soul. They all want
getting late in Los Angeles saying
wow.
I don't like playing with aces. There's a lot of rich people in the world, but there's not a lot of rich. Arian through his teenage would actually prove to be one of the smart.
Please welcome Instagram's most.
Something about the way he presented himself in interactive shooting.
Holy fuck, this girl just got shot in the fucking head. It's so fucking crazy.
Dan Bilzerian was once the king of social media, but now his company has crashed, and because of that, he could end up going to jail. Dan Bilzerian is the son of Paul Bilzerian, a multimillionaire on Wall Street who had to serve 13 months in prison for financial crimes. After he was released from prison, the SEC told him he owed $62 million to the people he was ripped off, but he fled to the Caribbean and has not come. Very likely he moves money illegally for his dad, and that's why he gets to live his luxurious lifestyle.
How'd you go broke? Some of it was I'd come home drunk and I'd play and just blast the account out.
And fucking cars. Because you know it's always gonna come in. Right? Once your ship comes in, it just keeps coming in. It's like you're... If you'd only worked just a little bit harder, we could be pulling up to Post Oak Motor Cars and buying me a Bugatti.
You don't even want to do that.
I know, but it's the thought that counts. There is no honor among thieves.
How'd you go broke? Some of it was I'd come home drunk and I'd play.
Star of the show right here. Let's go. One of the best goings in the world after a 3-year.
I stole 38 mil from Eddie, and I shoot a guy for trying to steal some million of crypto from me. You know? This is the fucking Wild West, partner.
Where was I during 9/11? I was in Texas. I still remember exactly the day. Okay? Mainly because our teacher spazzed out.
一般的にホストの仕事には枕をすることも含まれているものなんですか？
まあ、含まれてるというか、みんななんかこうしたいからしてるんじゃないですか。
No hunting for Wi-Fi, no hassling with local SIM cards. 5 continents, countless countries, it works everywhere.
We're making millions of dollars here.
This is the Avengers and Host Club.
And a lot of the staff were immediately puzzled as to why I wore
would drink for the more older and higher earning hosts. Is that still the same?
Well, on our way back to the host club, me and Reito-san were talking about the types of food that we like. And he mentioned something that I thought was kind of interesting.
Garlic 好き。
Garlic,そう。
でも仕事で全然食べれないんですよ。
そう、できないね。Do you have any advice for me to be a good host?
気持ちいいっすね。気持ちいい。
気持ちいい Okay. お酒、たくさんのお酒。気持ちいい。
Smile, smile.
Smile? How's that smile? どう
And although I didn't know what to do with my face, I did know what to do with my body. I was simply there to support the support who supported Reito. Within seconds of entering the club, I was introduced to Maker, one of Reito's...
So fucking hard. South Texas was pretty racist back then, right? Maybe still is. Because
You wanted to replace me since I got Kristen.
What do you, wait.
You claimed that you hired him, so I don't...
Wait, why would I replace the social media person when a dog person comes in?
Because I'm the one that hired him and he didn't work out, so you're mad about him not working out.
Whoa! Oh, no. I'm curious. No, I'm very curious. Where did you hear that? Because I've never said that in my life. Where'd you hear that? I'm very curious.
Jacob told me.
What?
I just said that. Jacob told me that you've been hell-bent on replacing me since I got Kristen and he left.
Tell me first. In that house! You wouldn't know because you don't know anything! Go stream.
What the fuck, dude? No, I'm gonna stay right here because you haven't been.
top customers, which of course didn't make me nervous in the slightest. And while each customer's face is blurred for privacy, I can assure you that initially every single one of them seemed quite apprehensive about this new random white boy who just turned up to... But of course I wanted to be a good support too, so I tried to get the conversation flowing.
何お酒は好きですか？
僕はシャンパンです。
シャンパンもちろん。お金の持ちテストね。飲み物は好きなんですか？
And within 0.3 seconds, I had already made a critical mistake, asking questions that maybe were a bit too personal.
仕事は何をしますか？大丈夫？
ホストクラブってなんか仕事を聞くのは一応ダメなんですけど。
本当に? And I apologized 1 million times, and Reito assured me it was fine.
No problem, no problem. 全然大丈夫。
However, Reito also did give some interesting insight into the types of customers that come to host clubs.
基本的にホストクラブに来る子っていう女の子は夜職が多いです。夜の仕事してる人が多い。なんかこう、そうですね、ホストクラブに来る女の子、キャバ嬢とか風俗が多いです。
わかりました。
メンズ女です。メンズエステ。ちょっとエッチなマッサージ。
ちょっとエッチ。But of course, there was no time to waste when shots are on the table. And don't forget, the customer pays for every single drink at a premium. But whilst I was busy destroying my body, Reito, not so much.
僕はこれはレモンティーです。
レモンティー？はい。He's drinking lemon tea.
What? 嘘つき。裏切り者?
There are...
You deserve the best. At Harbor Freight, you can afford it. Performance, durability...
There are tons of decorative bottles. Tahoe asked Momo a question.
レイトさんどんなところが好きかを教えてもらってもいいですか？顔。はい。顔ね。
And right before we were about to finish up at this table, I guess because we had cameras, they wanted to show off some of their very expensive vodka.
What the? What is this? 何それ?
This is the Imperial Collection vodka from Latvia, which would normally set you back a couple of $1,000. However, in this host club, it costs...
これ総額だと1000万近いです。
What? Huh? And as it turns out, that's just one of the many items clients can buy to support their hosts. There are tons of decorative bottles, custom champagnes, champagne towers, and champagne cores to choose from that can get ridiculously expensive. Needless to say, I was terrified to touch or go near these items as I did not want that bill.
Every part of my British ancestry is telling me to take this back home.
My best friend used to work here.
And he was like, hey, you're making a ton of money, come.
He was asking me,
really?
You should do it. You can do it.
I mean, you seem like a natural. How do you...
Anyways, we don't have to explain too much, but I hope you guys kind of understand why I would not really be afraid of a lot of fucking people, because If you just do like a little bit of research, you would have fucking figured it out. I think there were a few. What was? Oh gosh. Oh my god. So wasn't there actually a guy? What was it? Like a Russian streamer.
Welcome to This Russian streamer lost $200,000 in 10 minutes, and his reaction is just crazy.
While onlookers watched. Over time, the abuse got more and more intense. On one occasion, Reflay took out a can of pepper spray, casually walked over to where Valentina was laying on the couch, and sprayed it in her face as she screamed. As she rolled her loud music. This loud music, with the tree drunk. Little did she know things were only going to get much, much worse. Some pretty heavy scrutiny. He continued to stream and respond to donations while Valentina was out on the balcony, banging on the doors and even screaming. Eventually, though, her screams subsided and her banging stopped. Things got quiet. After not
This kid.
More.
Wasn't there like a female?
Hello.
Why does it keep showing me like the shorts? Should I write documentary?
Streamers?
I wonder if she died. I don't think she died, but I do remember there was like this
Hello. Women are easily.
yeah, I don't know where she is, but I remember I watched it. It was pretty crazy. Like Russia just has crazy like influencers. Oh, right here. Thank you.
So you think you know Wix, but do you really? First up, we've got shape video masks. You can use different shapes to create completely different vibes and aesthetics. Or you can create your own graphic. I use the shape composition here.
This is Splitika, the freakiest character on the Russian internet. First thing you will notice is her aggressive makeup, but that's before you look into her content.
Сила чувствует мой вайб. Выкинь прокладку.
She's known for adding special ingredients in her meals, eating menstrual pads, and peeing on stuff. By the way, she also has a boyfriend who's also very creative and incredible content creator. But what if I told you that she wasn't always like this? She used to be regular kid, love it. the toilet thingy, I don't know what it's called, sorry. He also ate his own vomit, piss, and excrement. Like,
Yeah. Anyways.
Has been brought
Should
to
I
my
watch? It's probably not healthy. Oh my gosh, we should. Oh. Guys should send me.
So I posted the full VHS on my YouTube today. If you are easily freaked out,
This what? Yes.
all right, it's about time. What's have an age? They said in. But for those of you that don't know, I bought some shoes off the dark web, and last night I figured out that the heel on one of them was hollow, and it had this in it. Here's what I know. That chip is called an A9G. Here's a GPS, and that is a cellular.
Yeah, I've seen those. I've seen it. But did you see the guy buy it? Oh, on TikTok? Yes. Yeah, I think so. Yo, so like every shoe in that dark web thing is a name and it's an age. So the man goes, oh, I'm gonna try to break the theory because the whole theory on the internet is like, if I buy this shoe, does it come with the person? Yeah.
It just came with the shoe.
No, it came with something worse.
What?
The exact same shit that happened in your story.
Wait, what the fuck?
It came with a tape.
Oh, that's crazy.
And you know what that tape is?
That was like the market to buy movies.
Yes.
Like dark movies.
Yes. But it's based on that kid.
Oh shit.
You get what I'm saying now? And he did more. Like he was trying to test like, is this real blood on the shoe? And then he tested it, it's real blood. But then he cut into the shoe and it's a tracker.
Oh shit.
So he's
dark web, and I have found some very interesting things, including someone that these shoes could potentially belong to. If this is indeed actually a dark web shoe, that is from someone that is deceased. Now, one of the comments I was getting is that BLOOD would not look at this red on a shoe, so I asked ChatGPT, asking could this be old BLOOD? The conclusion it came up with is that it could potentially be real BLOOD, especially considering that this is probably a suede or a fabric that it can appear dark and crusty or even uneven, such as what's seen in this image above. VCR tape that came with the boots that this creator bought on the dark web. Now we only have a few seconds of the tape so far. He has not posted the rest of it here or over on YT yet, but the creator says that he's going live at 10 p.m. Eastern time tonight. But the first little bit shows me that it's something to do with the shoemaker Keeper of Souls, and you'll see why here in just a second. Now someone said that you don't actually purchase the shoes, but what you're purchasing is the VCR tape. I don't know whether that's true or not, because he did also receive the boots that he had purchased from that site. I'd be super curious to know if you get the same VCR tape with other shoes that you...
It's called a shoe man, right?
And creepy. Have you guys seen the viral video of the guy who discovered this shoes dark web website where of shoes that have a name and the age with them and of course the price, but there's blood on most of these or mud or something really suspicious? We're not talking 1, 2, or 3 pairs, we're talking hundreds of pairs. So out of curiosity, this guy orders a pair of these shoes. As he's unwrapping it, he's like, you know what, I better go get some gloves on because we don't know where these have been. So he goes and grabs these plastic gloves and he says, all right, let's dig in and see what's in this package, if he actually got the right boots or he doesn't know what's going to be in it. And these boots are over $100 easily, but curiosity kills the cat, right guys? So he starts to open up this package, pulls out the boot and the other boot, and you can notice that there is actual blood stains on these boots, which is just scary. But that's not the end of it. In this boot, there is a VHS tape that falls out. We are currently waiting for updates from this dude. It's Shiloh_WWE on IG. I am really curious, but also scared to find out what could be on that VHS tape. So make sure to follow me.
Dark web. All of the shoes on the website weren't listed by brand like you would expect. Instead, they were listed by names and ages. The name on the boots he purchased was Waylon, age 29. I found an obituary that might coincide with whoever these boots might belong to. When he got the boots, he tested them with luminol, which is a chemical agent that's often used to test for blood at crime scenes, and the results were pretty clear. The stains on these boots are definitely from blood. Scariest of all, though, after opening the package that was sent to his P.O. box, the creator noticed that a VHS tape had been neatly tucked inside one of the boots. And after days of tinkering around with the VCR, he finally got it to play, and it just added to the creepiness. Some of the tape shows very bizarre imagery that some believe needs to be deciphered, like some sort of a cryptic message. Others think this was all staged and a huge and very successful publicity stunt. After the creator wore the boots to a photo shoot, it began to rub people the wrong way. And some are saying that if it is real, he needs to turn in the boots with the tape and any other information he has, while others are saying it doesn't really matter because police won't be able to do anything about it anyways. What do you guys? Across a website selling shoes, but a lot of these shoes appear to be covered in what looks like blood. Instead of the shoe brands, they are listed by names of people, their ages, and their shoe size. The person that posted this video did a few follow-ups as well and actually ordered a pair of shoes from the website just to see what shows up. He said that once he receives the shoes, he's going to be testing whatever substance is on them with luminol, which is a type of chemical that's used to test. If you guys thought this series was over, you are dead wrong, because it's far from over. Let's do a quick recap in case you've forgotten. A creator named Shiloh purchased some shoes from the dark web, but they're not just any shoes. They are blood-stained boots that come from a website where the shoes are listed by name and age. He ordered them to be delivered to his P.O. box to see what would show up. When he got the package, he was surprised to see that they were actually the boots he had ordered, but inside one of the boots he found a VHS tape. The VHS tape was from someone calling themselves the Shoe Man, and while there was no obvious incriminating evidence on the tape, it was still creepy and full of bizarre subliminal messages. But there were also what Shiloh calls submission slots. He explains that the submission slots are basically blank spots on the tape that are supposed to be added to by the people renting the boots. And he said that what it seems like is that you're supposed to harm someone wearing the boots, film it, and then add it to the tape. And if you don't fulfill the submission slot with your name on it, you get added to the tape instead, if you catch my drift. Then, Shiloh found a GPS tracker inside of the sole of the boot. Inside of the GPS tracker was a SIM card. So he went out and bought a burner phone to put the SIM card into. Using the SIM card, he was able to see a phone number that the tracker was trying to send his location to. And Shiloh believed that that phone number belonged to whoever is calling themselves the Shoe Man. So he called the number and left a voicemail and then sent multiple text messages to them. A couple days later, he gets a response. The person texting back says that he knows who Shiloh is and that he's seen his videos. But then he says he's not the Shoe Man, he's someone named Dante. Now, this name sounds familiar to Shiloh because one of the submission slots on the tape was named for Dante. And Dante tells Shiloh that he had the shoes before him, he's the one who put the tracker inside to try and find out who the Shoe Man is. Dante also explicitly tells Shiloh not to trust the Shoe Man, but Shiloh doesn't even know that he can trust this Dante character himself. Then, Shiloh checks his P.O. box to see that he received a package he didn't order. Inside is another pair of blood-soaked boots that are still damp to the touch, and that's where we're left off for now. If you guys
you have. Thank you for your question, and of course, this is a real photograph of the little girl that haunts this doll. Her name is Gloria. She was only 4 when she passed away from drowning at her father's house. I think I just found a haunted doll. Something about her is drawing me in. The funny thing is, I was not even shopping for haunted dolls today. I was actually shopping for a new mirror. And charity shops are always the best places for those. And naturally, as a doll collector, I do keep my eye out in case I come across any dolls. And that is where I saw this doll. I thought it was odd that she was in the mirror section and I was looking for mirrors. She was not in the ornament or toy section, she was in the mirror section, which kind of seemed like she was waiting for me. I'll be honest, I was very skeptical on picking her up because she did give me really weird energy, so I had a coffee, I thought about it, and I couldn't resist. I had to go back and get her. When I finally picked her up the second time, I felt something rattling around in her head. I ended up buying her, and I guess we will see if she's haunted and what's inside her head. A day in my life as a haunted doll collector. Happy Halloween! I'm just waiting. I'm a haunted doll collector and it's almost Halloween, so I thought it would be really fun.
Yeah, this is the shit I watch.
Today I'm going to be asking my haunted doll what would happen if Annabelle was out of her case forever. Oh my gosh, hello. So there's a ring that Annabelle is missing. Guys, she's right here. She's just fine. I'm just kidding, she's at the museum. But it did have me wondering, so let's see what they say. Lola, what would happen if Annabelle were to actually escape from her case? Did that just say run? Oh my god, that just said Annabelle and that just went off. Is Annabelle at the museum? Is she...
I would love to sit here and chit chat with you. I gotta go. Oh, Tyra.
Let's unbox my new haunted doll. If you're new here, yes, I collect haunted dolls. This doll was actually sent in by a viewer. Let's get a good look at her. Right off the bat, I can tell that she is a porcelain Walder doll.
Someone left a doll on my porch. This is not the first time. What shall I name her?
And I think to myself, what the fuck?
It all started when Abigail the doll mysteriously ended up on my porch. She moved on her own not once but twice, and as I've received many more unwanted gifts, it's gotten so much worse, and now things have taken a sinister turn. I finally have footage of whoever has been leaving these gifts. It all started...
Someone left a doll.
And I think...
What is this?
I keep hearing somebody walk up and down my stairs, but there is obviously nobody there. There's nothing there. And it keeps... You guys, I'm hearing it again, but from downstairs this time. Yeah, nope. You guys, I keep hearing somebody walk up and down my stairs, but there is obvious...
I have a conspiracy theory about...
I need to eat. What the fuck? Wouldn't it be like scary stories? Oh yeah, I was saying this the other day. I was like, there's less and less haunted houses because people don't die at the house anymore. They die at the hospital. Yeah.
So this guy
guy buys this doll at a local antique shop, but when he brings it home, this is what happens to his daughter's Cabbage Patch doll.
This is what happens whenever I put her near my daughter's old Cabbage Patch toy. But that's not the weirdest part.
Sorry.
There's no batteries. But wait, there's more. I even cut the wire to see if that would stop it.
There are no batteries in her, and he cut the wire. Somebody even tells him to check the fee, and he does, but there's still no batteries in there. Like, if it's doing all that during...
I don't know if you remember the Robert doll I was talking about.
Yeah.
So
I remember that.
some stupid woman wanted to fuck around with it.
What happened?
Recently, she makes a mini Robert doll. And
what the fuck?
And listen. She goes to the museum of the Robert doll.
Yeah.
Right? And there's a video of her saying, "Oh, Robert, I've been wishing for a haunted doll all my life. I couldn't find one."
What the fuck?
She puts her doll on the glass case on top of Robert and says, please, can you transport any spirits as much as you want into this... Oh, yeah.
You can't just be saying that shit.
Into this doll. Right after she posts that on TikTok, she posts another one. Guess where she's at, fam?
Where?
I'll show you the TikTok, bro. This is fuck. This is why you don't mess with Mr. You know who, man. So look.
What the fuck?
Look. She has a little mini Robert doll. Go to the thing. 5 hours.
Yo, are you serious?
Fam, that's 5 days after. Boom.
Yo.
I don't know if you remember the Robert doll I was talking about.
Yeah.
So
I remember that.
some stupid woman wanted to fuck around with it.
What happened?
Recently.
You fuckers.
This is the most important purchase I've ever made. Look at this. My own. They say if you take a picture of Robert the doll without asking his permission first, you might end up cursed. Here on display in Key West, Florida.
In this 2011 video, some people believe that Robert the doll can be seen blinking on camera.
Three, two.
Your spirits to attach yourselves to my mini Robert. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So Robert, I have been on the search for a haunted doll for months to attach yourselves to your spooky demons and your So Robert.
This is the doll that has been ruining people's lives.
Let's get out of here. You good?
What just pulled on my chain?
Right now?
Something just pulled on my
Man,
chain.
you're scaring me.
I swear.
Right now?
It literally just felt like something.
Has affected like thousands and thousands of people.
I'm burning!
For death and illness.
I'm gonna go to the hospital.
And they write to him, they apologize.
Robert, I'm sorry. Honestly, if you don't want to watch this video because you might get bad luck, I would turn it off right now. Both of
Pull
us.
it on the count of three. All right. 1, 2, 3. Oh, God. And he's actually wearing the clothes of his owner, Eugene Otto. But those are Eugene... What just pulled on my chain?
Right now?
Something just pulled on my
Man,
chain.
you're scaring me.
I swear.
Right now?
It literally just felt like something came up and just went.
Oh man, dude, you made my heart
Oh,
melt.
he said,
But alright, that's scary as He is freaking super powerful, it seems. We are giving our blood, doing a blood ritual sacrifice to the most haunted object in the world. This is absolutely nuts to me. I'm not even kidding. Dude, I'm freaking the out.
So if you want to talk to us, if you are satisfied with the offering that we have given you, please come speak into this device for us.
Yeah.
Okay?
I'm sorry. I feel like I can't breathe real quick.
You good?
No.
Oh shoot, dude. It's getting like hot in here.
No.
You good?
I can't breathe.
Oh, you can't breathe. Oh shit. Let's get out of here. You good?
I don't know.
I'm burning. I'm burning.
Like, it's like choking.
Dude, your eyes, they're like turning red.
No, I can't. What the? Oh my god.
What is going on? My eyes are starting to water.
It's like...
My stomach is burning, my chest is burning, I got a tightness on my...
Dude. I don't know. I'm gonna go to the hospital. I don't know what to do.
Oh, my favorite is the Sane Asylum.
The Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum is one of the most allegedly haunted areas of West Virginia.
What is it called? The Trans...
The Trans-Allegheny Lunatic...
Sea tree. Come here.
Before we get into today's video, I do just want to let you guys know that this is probably one of the darkest things that I have ever covered on here. It deals with the mistreatment of mental health patients. It's very heavy and very asylum in West Virginia. Now, this is said to be by many people West Virginia's most haunted location, which is saying something because West Virginia just has haunted stuff. Let's get into the history of this hospital. So this massive hospital opened up in 1863, and there was nothing but good intentions behind it at the beginning. It was
going on anymore. It was just about me, my life, and I didn't know what was gonna happen. I felt like my entire face and body was melting. I was on fire. Just say call it and leave, but we're going back.
A long way to see this done.
So at this point,
Okay, I do have an idea.
Okay,
right? So it seemed like he affected you the most. So what if we put you under for Estes? I want to make sure we're leaving this place not cursed.
I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna go like this.
Okay. I'm calling upon Robert or any of the entities that are inside of Robert. Is this Robert that we're speaking to?
It is.
I need you to be very clear, Robert. Will we have a curse if we leave this place?
You'll die. 1.
Oh no. Please don't tell me that. I just want to get out of here.
You'll die.
No, I just want to get out of here safely, Robert. Why did you attack us? Can you tell me why you attacked us?
So, really quick, I feel like there's someone right in front of me standing here. I feel him and everything. Just right here.
Do you miss Eugene Otto?
He does?
He does.
I literally feel like, bro, there's like, I had to open my eyes for a minute. I almost think there's someone right here. I feel like someone just, like this to me, matching up to me, looking at me. Oh, rest in case. It's like, alright, that was hell, but that happens a lot. So we can kind of shrug that aside and be like, maybe Robert didn't do that. So I get home, and then 2 days later, 2 days later, I got in some arguments with people. It's been bad, like little issues, whatever. And then today, which would be the 7th or 5th day, I don't remember, I have a scratch in my eye. And it got really bad. I had to go to doctors, and I'm doing this ointment treatment now to try to get it going again. So this is the reality of filming Robert the Doll. And I'm hoping and praying that things get better. So again,
It was built to be a beacon of hope for the people that needed it the most, and in 1881, the hospital became overwhelmed with people just needing help. And they didn't turn anyone away, and they didn't build on, so they just let these people in. And pretty soon, having your own room was a luxury that was no more available. They were now holding over 500 people that they were supposed to, so we have a total of 7.
They say if you take a picture of Robert the Doll without asking his
This is the most important purchase I've ever made.
Robert the Doll Part 1.
Did you know that Robert the Doll is the world's most haunted doll? Allegedly. Robert Eugene Otto was known as Gene, and he was born in the early 1900s, and his granddad spoiled him. And after a trip to Germany, his granddad arrived home with this monstrosity. So the doll stood at about 40 inches tall and was made by the Steiff Bear Company. And a Steiff historian later said that it was likely that Robert the Doll was made as part of a window display of like clowns and jesters. The little sailor suit that he is seen wearing here is thought to actually be one of Gene's outfits from when he was a little boy. Gene loved Robert the Doll. He adored him. And then Robert the Doll started to misbehave. So things would go missing around the house, things would be moved, and Gene would always blame Robert. This went on for years, and when Gene grew up, he was described as being an eccentric artist, and he kept Robert the Doll. Allegedly, Gene spoke to Robert the Doll all the time, and he treated Robert the Doll as if he were a real child. Apparently, kids in the area stayed away from the artist's house, and Robert the Doll would be perched in the window, and local kids used to swear that they would see Robert the Doll move. Gene died in 1974, and a woman named Myrtle Reuter ended up buying his house, and she also became caretaker of Robert, who was still there. She claimed that she would regularly hear giggling and footsteps running around in the attic where Robert was kept, and it wasn't just her that heard it. Guests to the house also heard it. She swore that Robert would move from room to room, and a plumber that was in the house doing some work in the room where Robert was heard giggling and then turned around to see that the doll had moved to the other side of the room. A reporter named Malcolm Ross heard the story and visited Robert, and he wrote afterwards that he could see Robert the Doll's expression changing depending on what was being said about him. In 1994, Myrtle donated Robert to the East Martello Museum in Florida. She passed away a few months later, and Robert remained active in the museum. He was eventually put on display, and people started to visit him, and apparently cameras and other electrical devices have a tendency to malfunction around him. Not only that, but soon after he was put on display, the museum started to receive letters of people who were looking for forgiveness from Robert. Apparently they had disrespected him when they'd come to see him and had misfortune befall them ever since. So this is Robert now, and you can see all of the letters around him that people have sent. And apparently you have to ask permission politely before you can take a picture of him. And would you believe it, I have a podcast episode all about Robert the Doll. It's episode number 70, and it was released on March the 1st, 2020.
700 people in this building, just the patients alone. So the number of patients did not just stop rising there, it kept going up and up and up, and this would create a domino effect throughout the hospital. There was no longer enough staff, no one was getting the attention and care that they needed, and on top of that, they could not keep up with food demands for all of the patients. So we're dealing with extreme malnourishment at this point. The inside of the hospital was starting to become unlivable. I mean, there was a grime covering the windows that blocked out sunlight. It was so thick. And even the wallpaper started to peel off the walls. So over the years, the numbers just kept rising and rising, and by the 1950s, there was 2,800 patients. That is 2,600 patients more than it was built for. So as you can imagine, there was not enough room for these patients. And the staff did something truly disgusting to make room for those patients. If you were deemed a danger to yourself or to others, you were locked in a cage and left in the middle of the room so that someone that was more capable could have it. While I was researching this, I was like, it can't get any worse than that. Like, that's gotta be like the top, and it kept getting worse. And here's it getting worse again. There was unfortunately a very sick and twisted surgeon on the—
Just say.
I said bring them back. I said bring back the fucking insane asylums.
Staff at this hospital, and his hobby was performing lobotomies on people. I told you, it just keeps getting worse. It is estimated that he performed around 4,000 lobotomies. And not only did these take the lives of a lot of patients, they left the others with irreversible brain damage. And truly a freaking monster. This hospital did not shut down until 1994. Can we just take a moment? Because that's recent. Now, while the doors to patients did close in 94, the doors for tours and investigations are very much wide open. So if you're more interested in the history side, you could do a daytime tour, but if you're more interested in the hauntings and things like that, you can do nighttime tours, and they even let you stay overnight and have your own like ghost hunting equipment. And I actually did not do any research into what people say that they've seen there because I plan on going there and staying overnight, and I don't want to know what people see. I want to just have my own experiences. I feel like it's easy for your brain to trick you if it's like, oh, a woman in white spotted in this room, and then like you just think you see something. I just don't want to know what people see, you know what I mean? But if any of you guys have been on the tour, I would love to know if you had fun. I'm sorry this was so dark. It's truly just disgusting how often this happened as well. I promise to make the next video at least kind of lighter. Before we get into today's video, I do just want to let you guys know that this is probably one of the darkest things.
I actually have a few pictures from this trip. This is the outside of Tala, the main entrance in the back, just one of the side buildings, but the places where I had incidents was the basement, and these are
seems to have that tendency with people.
Oh, there it is.
the Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum in Weston, West Virginia. It's 666 acres. There are 20,000 graves on site, many of which have no markers because through dilapidation not being taken care of, and also people scavenged it, took the grave markers, and some had been returned later when a local discovered that the home he bought, basically the foundation was laid with, instead of bricks, it was the tombstones from Trans-Allegheny.
That's how you get haunted.
Yep, he pulled out as many as he could.
100% chance you're gonna get haunted if you build your house with great.
Shadows creep along the decaying halls.
Real stories in real places. Welcome to day 4 of 30 of abandoned hospitals and asylums. Built in 1864, this place was designed to heal the mind, but it quickly became a place of horror. Welcome to Trans-Allegheny.
You want to tell us the name? Welcome.
Well, at least our first little bit of investigating was entertaining.
Dude, there's so many.
This is the most haunted and infamous hospital in America. Located in Louisville, Kentucky, Waverly Hills Sanatorium was originally built in the early 20th century as a tuberculosis hospital to accommodate the rapidly growing number of patients suffering from the disease. The sanatorium was designed to be self-sufficient, with its own farm, water treatment plant, and even a post office. One of the most chilling features of Waverly Hills is the body chute, or the death tunnel. This 500-foot-long tunnel was used to transport deceased patients from the hospital to waiting hearses at the bottom of the hill. One of the most infamous stories involves Room 502, where a nurse named Mary Hillenberg is said to have committed suicide.
As one of the top 10 scariest places on Earth, Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Louisville, Kentucky, isn't.
The Waverly Hills Sanatorium is one of the scariest haunted locations I've ever heard about. From ghostly figures.
Would you dare stay the night in an abandoned, haunted hospital? This is Waverly Hills Sanatorium, an abandoned tuberculosis hospital that was built in the 1900s. This structure is located in Louisville, Kentucky, and was designed to accommodate about 50 tuberculosis patients at the time. At this time, tuberculosis, or the white plague, was a really serious disease. People who were affected with it were isolated from the general public so that they could have a peaceful and serene atmosphere to recover in. Tuberculosis was so contagious and at epidemic proportions, so those living with it could not be allowed to live with the general population. It wasn't known at the time that tuberculosis was actually an airborne disease. Waverly Hills was a self-contained community, and everybody who went there, including the nurses and the doctors, employees, they basically had to say goodbye to the outside world. Once you went to Waverly Hills, you were a permanent resident on the hill. By 1926, they had finished adding on to this hospital and made it to where they could accommodate at least 400 patients at any given time. Approximately 123,000 people are said to have died here before a cure for tuberculosis was eventually found. Before that, patients were undergoing archaic treatments like extreme weather exposure and even surgeries that would temporarily collapse their lungs. It's no surprise that people suggest this is one of the most haunted buildings in the United States. Paranormal activity enthusiasts from all over the world travel here to experience it. One of the most common sightings is a nurse who had hung herself on the 4th floor whenever this was operating, and she still roams the hallways today. There were also plenty of children who were residents here, and it is said that their spirits will still play ball with you. We ended the tour towards the reception and intake area, and this is where families would come and visit and also get checked in. And then at the very end, they took us to the infamous body chute. This is a long, dark hallway where they used to transport all the bodies out of the hospital. It was pretty spooky. And then our tour.
And the other day I did a presentation on haunted hospitals and asylums. And people really enjoyed it. And they asked if I would do a couple of videos on it. And basically what I did is I presented the history of the locations and then ghostly encounters that people had while investigating those locations. So I said, sure, let's do it. So let's start with the first location, Waverly Hills Sanatorium. You know, I live in Louisville, Kentucky. It's based there. I've been there many, many times. The history is pretty interesting. See, the original building was a two-story wooden structure that could house about 40 to 50 tuberculosis patients. But due to the rapid spread of tuberculosis, also known as the White Plague at that time, a larger facility was absolutely necessary. So in 1926, the current Gothic-style brick building was completed and could accommodate more than 400 patients. The facility was considered state-of-the-art at the time. I mean, it had open-air porches to allow fresh air. It's a common belief and treatment for tuberculosis back then. The treatment for tuberculosis included fresh air and sunshine, and in more severe cases, even surgical interventions, like the removal of a rib to collapse the lung. Now, many of these treatments were quite experimental and very, very painful. Well, Waverly Hills continued as a tuberculosis sanatorium until 1961, where thankfully the antibody effectively brought the tuberculosis epidemic under control. So the building was later used as a geriatric hospital until it eventually closed in 1981. There's been a lot of reported ghostly encounters, and I certainly have had mine. So it's Waverly Hills Sanatorium is also cited as one of the most haunted locations in America and also the world, partially due to its dark history and numerous reported deaths, which estimates placing nothing but thousands. So what I'm going to do in the next video is I'm going to present a couple of ghostly encounters that people had. And
what the fuck is it called?
the next place I want to talk about is a really cool place. It's actually located in my neck of the woods, Waverly Hills Sanatorium. Paranormal encounter story that I'm going to talk about happened at Waverly Hills in Louisville, Kentucky. And I'll present three stories of friends of mine who went there. And I've been to Waverly Hills many, many times. And so some friends of mine that are paranormal investigators decided to, they were exploring the infamous death tunnel. It's a long chute where bodies were discreetly removed from a hospital during the tuberculosis epidemic. And they did this because they didn't want to see the patients seeing so many people passing away. And it's a long 1 mile chute, it's just straight down the hill. And as they moved deeper into the tunnel, they noticed an unusual chill in the air, even though there's no air conditioning in the body chute. And suddenly they also saw a very dark humanoid shadow appear at the far end of this body chute. It was moving slowly towards them. And the group completely froze, watching as the shadow seemed to twist and expand, crawling along the walls and even the ceiling. And this group is not the type of group that embellishes. They're very much about the book, and they try to explain everything away. And it really took a while. And despite their equipment malfunctioning and registering no physical presence, the sense of doom, it just intensified, they said, with each step that this shadow figure took. So terrified, obviously, the group decided we're done. They retreated, and they said that they felt an icy breath on the back of their necks until they finally burst into daylight outside, leaving the shadow to dissolve into the darkness behind them. And they have vowed that they would never go back to that location again. I have been in the body chute many times. I never saw the shadow man, but I absolutely heard disembodied voices. Disembodied voices are where you can actually hear the voices with your own ears. And no question I heard that. So that is the first story. That last paranormal encounter at Waverly Hills, and then I'll go on to the next asylum, the next hospital. This is the laughter of the children on the rooftop. This is really strange. See, Waverly Hills Sanatorium once cared for many children, some with tuberculosis and some without, and echoes of their playful spirits still seem to haunt the premises even today. Well, late one night, a paranormal enthusiast, a friend of mine, actually ventured alone to the rooftop, which, by the way, was once used as a playground for young patients. And it's 5 stories high, a playground on the top of the roof. And nonetheless, as the moon bathed the rooftop in a pale light, the air was suddenly filled with the sound of children's laughter and the faint echoes of a bouncing ball. They looked around, they couldn't find anyone. And the enthusiast stood still, their heart racing as the laughter grew louder and actually seemed to circle around them. But despite no visible children, the sound was so vivid and close that the investigator, my friend, could feel an inexplicable sense of joy and even mixed with a deep, deep sorrow. And the laughter slowly faded into the night, leaving them unnervingly alone once more. And they claimed that a toy, a red ball, inexplicably rolled right to their feet. What's interesting about this ball is there is an alleged little ghost child named Timmy. And Timmy likes to kick the ball to people, investigators. Now, this is just from my experience. As an investigator, first time I investigated Waverly Hills was 35 years ago. And as an exorcist, I have found in every single one of my cases that involved ghost children, that they weren't ghosts at all. In every single case, it was demonic. Interesting. God bless.
That's right, you've heard of it. Waverly Hills Sanatorium. Waverly Hills Sanatorium.
Waverly Hills Sanatorium?
187,000 square feet of horror, but legend has it, now the building houses paranormal activity.
You guys comprehend the fact that we're inside of the morgue drawers at Waverly Hills?
We did it. We made it, man.
There's only 6,000 dead people that have sat in this exact spot.
And that makes us 6,003. Oh! Wait, this is going crazy right now. Miles! I'm a child! No! What? Both devices just said go deeper. Guys, this is... Oh! Wow! Are you okay? No! This is where dead bodies would be? I'm so excited about this.
I watched some fucked up shit. No, there was this one YouTube video that shit was fucked up. Hold on, let me see if I can find it for you. It's like Mel something.
Hi guys, happy Halloween again. Oh, they don't. Can you do something?
Do it again.
Hi everybody, it's nearly Halloween. She's going to be doing something, a little Ouija board, again, I don't know if it works.
You guys should watch some of this shit. Whoever the fuck it is like very aggressive.
Yeah, let's roll it. Alright, do it again. Thank you very much. See what Princess Diana's been up to today. Hi guys. Was that going game now? Yes. Is that you? Is that you doing that? Can I put the glass over somewhere? Or hi guys. We're gonna try this again. Didn't work out too well last time. I hope you like this. If you didn't see what happened last time, I'll annotate if I up there somewhere. 1, 2, 3. power of Christ compels ye. God and Christ. The power of Christ compels ye.
Is that the...
That's not paranormal. I don't think it's the start. I don't know if you can see this on camera. The idea was I'm going to be more surprised. Or else first. I gotta find a better pointer as well. I've been using these glasses. The idea was that because it's so tall, you'd be able to see and I mean, see, I've got no more of those glasses. Are you not strong enough to move the glass? Hi guys. Hi everybody. It's nearly Halloween. My buddy Haunted. Hi guys. Happy Halloween again. Hi everybody. It's nearly Halloween. My buddy Haunted Sunshine Girl on Saturday the 29th of October at 12. Hi guys, happy Halloween again. Sorry, I'm really glass, but I'm sure there's... Okay. No. K2, you people number 1 across the board. Holy shit, that's... I'm not religious, but that's... Sorry about this, guys. It's just coming up to midnight. Okay, so this would have happened within the last hour. I didn't see it. The drawer opened, some stuff came out. We've got knives. They come out of the knife. Sorry about that, guys. I pushed the record button as I was moving out the way. This would have happened within the last hour. I didn't. Knives. The knife drawer opened, some stuff came out. Where's that? Here. The record button as I was... Sorry about that, guys. Nothing else. Right, I'm in the corner. Nothing can happen behind me now. Hi guys, I'm going to do this EVP thing again. Last time. The first thing I'm going to do to ensure the best quality hangover and to kill any... What was it? Hang on. A-lock. Ooh, you can all stop asking. And to kill any nasty little bugs that are in the wine.
Anyways, you guys, I'm gonna be back, but right now I just wanted to share with you guys some scary stuff. But I'll be back. I need to pee and walk around this shit.